And we're back with another edition of Huge Pop Sports Football Fridays, but today's Thursday, so you get a day early for Labor Day weekend.
Yep.
We're going to be talking everything NFL. We're going to be we're going to be giving our season preview of what we think the divisions are going to look like. And then we're going to dive into college football. Opening weekend is upon us. It all starts tonight in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. We have the CMU Chippewas taking on Central Connecticut State University. Should be an easy win, but we will get there. So, football season, it's here.
Absolutely.
It is here.
It's been best part of the season, best part of the year.
It's one of those times a year. We run from August until February. I love it.
Yep.
Love it. And this year is going to be a really fun year for us as Lions fans, us as Michigan Wolverines fans. And I think the Chips are looking pretty solid as well. So, I'm going to hopefully we win tonight and just start building towards the future there.
So can you catch us up a little bit on the CMU Chippewas? Are they under new coaching, or are they changing around, or has this guy been there just a little bit, or?
Coach Mack has been there for a while.
Okay.
I think this is his sixth year there, sixth or seventh year.
All right.
So he's been to a couple bowl games. It's hard in mid-major football. It's hard to be crazy successful. You know what I
mean? Right.
So let's dive into the NFL.
All right.
The no fun league, as I like to call it, because you can't hit nobody no more. You can't wrap up and pull people down anymore. They're playing Arena League rules football or XFL rules football with the new kickoff rule.
What is that? That to me is about the most ridiculous. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
I don't like it either. I just know why they did it, because they want to make sure teams are returning kicks. That's pretty much the only reason why they made that rule.
So they're thinking we're gonna get more kickoff returns?
Yeah.
For a whole distance?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you break through that, because now don't you move the kickoff line all the way up to like the 40 and leave the kicker back by himself, which now you can't onside kick anymore.
Well, you can, but you gotta tell the other team you're doing it.
Okay, so I mean, I know this is a football. We want to get to NCAA. We want to get to NFL, but Matt, I have to just get this off me real quick. We teach. So you're a football coach. You teach your son Andrew. My nephew plays football. He's a center, and from day one, we teach the kids the techniques.
Yep.
Then they move into middle school, and those same techniques are brought to them in middle school.
Yep.
And then from middle school, they go into if you have a good system like Claire does, you go Pee Wee or whatever Andrew is now, middle school, high school, and we learn the same thing throughout the whole damn thing, right?
Yep.
And then you go to college, and so the only thing that is different is guys are faster, guys are stronger, and now you get paid a little bit of money if you're a big name player. But you still have the same damn rules.
I'll take it one step further. Coaching and being around the pros during that Lions Legends camp in the summer.
Yeah.
They do the same. Their drills in the NFL are the same ones that I teach my kids.
Okay.
at the 5th and 6th grade level.
But then what the heck are they doing to the game? That's the dumb. I mean, why bring these kids up through the system and then you get to the pros and now we're going to play arena football outside?
Yeah, pretty much.
I gotta tell my team I'm going to kick an onside kick. What the hell? That's the dumbest thing. So there's no surprise anymore.
No. There's no strategy left, and there's no strategy.
Not.
There's not.
Wow. No fun league anymore. I get that now. Wow. Anyway.
So, I mean, I guess we can just like give our predictions and then, because I got a lot to talk about. Actually, I'm going to give you homework for next week's episode. Netflix. Well, we'll get to the Netflix deal in a few minutes after we're done with the NFL. I guess we'll just jump into the AFC first. The AFC South, in my opinion, is probably the weakest out of all of them. We'll just start with them.
All right.
That one's got Indianapolis, Houston, Tennessee, and Jacksonville.
If Jacksonville's quarterback can stay healthy, I think they got a good enough team behind them. My first pick would be Jacksonville winning it.
Mine are actually going to be really, really kind of weird saying this.
All right.
I think Houston wins the division.
Okay.
CJ Stroud is just an absolute stud under center.
Okay.
And he's got all sorts of weapons. Adding Stephon Diggs to the mix is just crazy deadly for him. And my number two in that division is your old team, the Indianapolis Colts. I think they're going to be sneaky good. I think you give them an opportunity. You don't want to let them stay around. You don't want them to be hanging around in games because they will beat you. You can just forget about Tennessee. They don't have anybody there. And I think Jacksonville, where they're good. I just don't think they can pull off a divisional win. I don't think they can win the division.
I have Jacksonville winning it. They were one game away from making the playoffs last year. I have the Texans. I agree. CJ Stroud's a beast, and plus that that's just a sick team. Colts are third, and the Tennessee Titans can stay in Tennessee because they're finishing last.
Let's go with the AFC North, arguably one of the toughest divisions in football.
Okay.
With Baltimore, Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
All four teams have very good quarterbacks. All four teams have very good players around their team. Shout out to Heel Kevin and the Ravens Nation. They're going to win the division. That team is very good. But after that, it's kind of just whoever can get hot at the right time. But Baltimore wins that division, followed by whoever else. Maybe Pittsburgh. They have two really good quarterbacks. Hopefully they decide to go with Justin Fields. But outside of that, Cincinnati's kind of in a rebuild mode. But I'm going to go Baltimore and then Pittsburgh probably.
I can't argue with Baltimore being first. I love Joe Burrow, so hopefully he can stay healthy and bring Cincinnati some kind of winning streak. And I don't know, man. I would go down this way. Ravens win it, Bengals second, Steelers third, and Browns fourth.
Yeah, Glass Joe is what I like to call him. Let's go AFC East. We got Buffalo, you got New England, you got the Dolphins, and you got the Jets. Jets with Aaron Rodgers healthy. They could be in it. Miami, they're coming off a very good year. Their coach is really good. Tua, if he can stay healthy, could make some noise. New England, it's a rebuild. It's post Tom Brady. It's like the 49ers once Montana and Young were gone. They dominated, and now they're in the cellar. And then Buffalo. Buffalo is sneaky good too. They've won, I think, the division the last 3 years. I think Buffalo has.
Yep.
They were 1-2 in the preseason. That doesn't really mean anything. But Buffalo did have a firing sale, and they lost Diggs and several other big key pieces to both sides of the ball. I'm going to go Miami wins the division, followed by Buffalo, and then the New Jersey Jets in third, and of course last place is the Patriots because reasons.
I'm going to flip-flop number 1 and 2, man. I'm going to go to Bills first. Only because I hate the man that's going to hopefully stay healthy for the Jets. If Aaron Rodgers, all due respect to the Jets, if he stays healthy, yeah, you'll win the division.
No, I didn't say the Jets. I said the Dolphins.
Oh, okay. I thought you said the Jets. I'm like, okay, no.
The Fins. The Fins.
Okay, Dolphins. Yes, I agree. Dolphins will win the division. Bills will be second, unless the Jets can stay healthy with the Aaron Rodgers, and that's a flip-flop 2 and 3. But definitely the Patriots will finish last, and let's pray that they win a game.
Next up is AFC West. We have the reigning, defending Super Bowl champions, my number 2 team, the Kansas City Chiefs, Las Vegas Raiders, the Los Angeles Chargers, and the Denver Broncos. Until someone knocks the Chiefs off, it's their division. They are this generation and this era's New England Patriots. You get looked at like you're an asshole if you're a Chiefs fan. You know what I mean? Like I'm a Lions and Chiefs fan. And I get looked like when I say I'm a Chiefs fan, oh, you just like Patrick Mahomes. No, and you can testify for this. I've been a Chiefs fan for a long time.
Absolutely. 100%.
Derek Brooks, Christian Okoye, David Craig.
Yep. So I call my brother a diehard fan. And I say this because he's not a bandwagon jumper. He's been with the Chiefs since when they were shitty. He still talked about watching the Chiefs. So when he says he's been a Chiefs fan, yes, he has. It's not he's not a Patrick Mahomes fan. It's just he likes the Chiefs. So
and that's my pick to win the division.
I can't argue. I really can't. I'd be a fool to say that any of those other teams in that division is going to take it. I mean, I'd like to see Jim Harbaugh come into the Chargers and change that program around and challenge the Chiefs. But it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot for them to beat the Chiefs because that team is stacked. That team is seasoned. It's ready to go. It's like you said, it's the modern day New England Patriots. It's everything a coach would want. I mean, come on.
So,
unless Taylor Swift gets involved, then we might have a different talk. They might lose some games. But
Cody Cornett's favorite artist. Next up, we're going to talk a little bit about the NFC South because, in my opinion, that's the weakest division in the NFC. You got Tampa, New Orleans, Carolina, Atlanta. This is going to shock a lot of people. I think it goes Tampa wins the division, but not by a lot. I think Tampa, then Atlanta. I think Atlanta's going to be sneaky good, and I think they're young and they're hungry, and I think they can make some waves. And the If it's not Atlanta, it's obviously going to be New Orleans because I don't think Carolina has anything to compete with any of those three teams. But I think it's going to be Tampa and then Atlanta this year.
I can't argue. I mean, I'd probably put Atlanta first over Tampa.
Okay.
I love what they did last year. I love their energy. You know, they just got Kirk Cousins as a quarterback. So
If he
plays, when he plays, he's good. So I'm gonna go Atlanta over then Buccaneers. Then obviously, who cares about what's third and fourth? They won't be making the playoffs for sure.
Let's go to the NFC East. Another really tough division. Got the Eagles, Giants, Commanders, and the Cowboys. I'm gonna go Philly winning that division. And then probably Dallas right behind them, and then those other two teams can just go kick rocks because it's a battle for it's
rock
battle
kicking season for them. So
yeah, I mean, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm way off, but I think the Giants and Commanders are going to be battling for last place in all of football.
I mean, so who'd you put first?
Philly.
Yeah, I would have to say because Philly's like it. You know, they're doing stuff to improve their team, and Dallas had the opportunity. Dallas was shown in the playoffs what they needed to do. They got exposed, and they did nothing to fix that.
Oh, they did nothing. And Philadelphia went and got themselves Saquon Barkley, and
yeah. So there, you see teams that want to win, and then you see the teams like Dallas Cowboys. Sorry, JB, but you see your Dallas Cowboys, right? That are just happy to have what they got, and which is second to last place, right? So Eagles win it, Cowboys next, then the Commanders and Giants could go play pickup ball somewhere else because that's what they're going to do.
I mean, they can come and play in our league. I'm sure we can give them a game.
Yeah.
The NFC West is up next because we're going to save the best division in all of football for last. NFC West, we have the Rams, Seahawks, 49ers, and then the Cardinals. Again, it's for me, the coin flip. It all depends on if they stay healthy. San Francisco will win that division. But do not sleep on the LA Rams. Matthew Stafford is legit. He has two very good guys on the outside in Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp.
Yep.
And he also has Blake Corum in the backfield.
Yeah.
He's going to be okay. That defense, just because you lose Aaron Donald, doesn't mean that your ship is sunk. You always have to look forward, next man up. But I'm going San Francisco winning that division because they have won it the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Providing they stay healthy and keep Brock Purdy off his back, they can win that division again, and they can make a deep run in the playoffs until they have to come to Detroit and lose.
I will agree. If I had to pick the three, I don't know the fourth team yet, but if I had to pick three teams out of the NFC, it's going to be Lions, and then it's going to be the 49ers or the Rams, right? Because Matt just said it. Those teams are stacked. Don't sleep on the Rams. You got Blake Corum in that backfield, and he is freaking dangerous. I don't care what level. This kid's just a level above, right? 49ers, if they stay healthy, I agree, Matt. If they stay healthy, and I'm a Lions fan, but I'm going to say there's going to be a ball. It's going to be a ball game when they come to Detroit. The Rams, when they come to, it's going to be a ball game. I never sleep on Matt Stafford. Everybody thought he's a joke when he was in Detroit. No, the team just wasn't coached well, and there was some missing pieces. And I think now Detroit's on the right path. But for the 49ers, it's 49ers, Rams, and then I'm going to say Seahawks, Cardinals in that order.
Yeah. I think the Cardinals will be.
But the Rams could take that division in a minute.
Yeah. And to me, it's the one of the toughest divisions, the black and blue division. We got the Lions, Packers, Bears, and Vikings. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be that homer. I'm gonna be the guy. Last year we didn't finish the job. This year, to quote a professional wrestler, it's time for us to finish our story. It's time for us to get the job done. Okay? Like we said earlier with Philadelphia and Dallas. Dallas sat stagnant in the off season, didn't go and get any help. The Lions went and got help. They went and got Carlton Davis. They went and signed the guys that they needed to. They went and drafted properly. Detroit wins that division, followed by Green Bay, then Chicago, and Minnesota finishes in last place in the division. But all four teams are playoff caliber teams. It's one of the toughest divisions in football.
Right. I mean, of course, my pick would be the Detroit Lions, but I will regurgitate the words that Matt said about the Rams. Don't sleep on the Packers. I'm a Lions fan. I hate the Packers, but every time they play the Lions, that makes me nervous. Because if there's one team that can take out the Lions, it is the Packers. They can make Detroit's world a nightmare if Detroit's not on top of their game. I mean, Packers went out and improved. I'm not even sure that if it's right to leave out the Bears in the conversation, because they're good. They went out and did some stuff.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I have to put Vikings in last because they lost J.J. McCarthy. I was hoping to see him. I wanted to see him play this year. He may not have started, but I had great hopes for this kid. I agree, Matt. This is the toughest division in football. There might be naysayers about that, but it's going to go respectfully in the order Matt said it. Lions, Packers, Bears, Vikings. And it's going to be a close battle at the end of the year.
That's our preview of everyone. That's our first half hour of the show is our preview for the NFL. Next half of the show, we're going to be talking about college football. And before we get into our picks, I want to I would like to encourage everybody, all of our listeners, if you love college football, to watch. I want to make sure I get the title 100% correct. Just one moment. Where is it? It's called Sign Stealer.
Sign Stealer?
Yes, it's called Untold, and it's Sign Stealer. It is the Connor Stallions documentary. He made himself available for interviews by the people. I'm not going to ruin it for anybody. We will be back next week and we will talk about it. But definitely it's a good watch. You're going to see Connor in a different light. You're going to see it. I don't want to get too deep into it because I think if you're a college football fan or a Michigan football fan, or even remotely close to anybody who's saw this or had heard about this, it's an hour and a half long, and I definitely suggest watching it if you like sports documentaries.
Oh, will it piss me off?
I don't think it will. I see. Here's the thing with Connor. I learned a lot about Connor Stalions. I really did. The guy's a genius. The guy's an absolute genius. He just is. I will go on record and say Connor Stalions, what he did was genius. You'll see in the documentary why I say that. We'll talk about it next week on the show, but definitely check it out. I plan on watching it one more time so I can sink my teeth a little bit more into it. Okay.
Try to watch it before our show.
So like I said, it's an hour and 27 minutes long. But I walked away with one thought in my head, is that he's in Connor Stalions, whether you think he cheated or not, the guy's a genius. He is the Rain Man of college football. He truly is.
Okay. All right. That's a must see.
So we're into week 1. Week 0 was very surprising. Very surprising. Georgia Tech taking out our Noles. What happened? Wow.
And that's why I like college football, because you never know.
Oh, it was ridiculous.
It was such a good game and I hate week 0 because these kids are just freshly coming off, and with that, I'm saying that because I still don't think it's not time to cut ties with Florida State. I think they're going to be good. They just got beat, and I think they lost on a 48-yard field goal at the last second or something like that.
Yeah, they lost 24-21.
Yeah.
Scoring summary. The kid kicked a field goal with no time on the clock to win.
Yeah, it's like a 40-some yard field goal. I watched the game. Yeah, there was mistakes on both sides of the ball. But it was a great game, and that sucks because I picked. I think I had Florida State at ranked number 8 in my predictions, and well, of course, now they're not. But I don't see that they can get up there. Maybe I had them at 5.
I had them at 7.
Did you? I mean, so I don't know. That was a good game, though.
Oh, absolutely. This week we have. We're not going to pick all these games, but we have, let's see, what do we have for the top 25? Tonight in the top 25, we have NC State and West Carolina. We won't be picking that. We also have Missouri versus Murray State. Lindenwood versus Kansas. Southern Utah versus Utah. Those are tonight's games for the top 25. All home teams should win those ball games tonight. It just but yeah, I think, but with that Georgia Tech team, don't sleep on them now in the ACC. I think they went out and they punched the giant in the jaw and said, "Bring it, bitch. We got you."
Yeah. 100%.
I mean, be it the very first week and like not a lot of prep time for it because you play on week 0 that doesn't give you a lot of time to prep. But guess what? Georgia Tech came out fighting.
Yep.
So, week 1 ACC matchup that we're picking is Georgia going to Clemson in a ranked versus ranked match. Let's come back to that one because that's the game of the week in my opinion.
Yeah.
In the top 25, and that's on at noon on at the Aflac kickoff game.
Who's that running down the track?
The Mean Machine in the red and black. Nothing finer in the land than a drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan. Go Dogs! Go Dogs! We'll get back to that one.
I love when Pat McAfee does that. That's so freaking awesome.
Oh, we'll have that. I gotta find that sound clip. We gotta have that. So let's start off with the Mountain West. The Mountain West division. It's SMU in Nevada. Is a game from the Mountain West that we're gonna pick. We missed that game.
When was that?
That game was played on August 24th.
Yeah. I picked I picked SMU, I think, that day.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I picked them too. Let's go to week 2. The next game that jumps out to me there's 2 games that jump out to me in the Mountain West. It is UNLV and Houston. Houston's a 2.5 point favorite in that one. Or we can pick the Wyoming-Arizona State game. Arizona State's only favored by 7. Which one do we want to pick?
Let's do the USC, the UNLV.
UNLV and Houston?
Yeah.
UNLV Houston. All right, so Houston's at home, and they're favored by 2.5. Yeah. Give me the Cougars. I gotta take the home team.
Yeah, I yeah, they're gonna. Yeah, Houston wins that game.
All right. So let's roll on into the Big 12. The Big 12 is Penn State traveling to West Virginia.
Penn State, you said?
Penn State, PSU.
Okay.
Going to West Virginia. PSU has a 10.5 point favorite in that game. I gotta go Big Ten country. I gotta pick Penn State to win that one.
If I don't pick Penn State, that makes me look like a ridiculous person because I talk mad crap about Penn State being good this year. I'm a Big Ten fan. As much as I boasted about Penn State last week, and I don't pick Penn State to beat West Virginia, I'd be a fool. But I don't underestimate West Virginia because West Virginia could be the Georgia Tech of week 1 and upset a Penn State. So Penn State should win. But believe me, Penn State, pay attention. Don't underestimate your opponent, for sure.
So you're
picking Penn State.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, no. I'm writing down what we picked. That way I can keep track of points here.
Okay.
And right now we haven't picked differently from each other.
All
right. Next up, we'll go with the Big Ten game. That's not Michigan. We're going to go with the Big Ten game that we picked. That's not Michigan. Is North Carolina traveling. Where is he? To Minnesota to take on the Golden Gophers. UNC is a 2-point favorite. On the road.
North Carolina, they're the one I had that quarterback from. That was amazing last
Drake
year. Right?
May last year, yes.
Is he there this year?
No. He is going to probably start for the New England Patriots this year.
They're in Minnesota?
They're in Minnesota.
I'm going with Minnesota by 7.
Okay. This is the first time that we're disagreeing. As much as I want to say row that boat with PJ Fleck and his Golden Gophers, I just think that UNC has a lot to prove, that the ACC is a lot better than people think they are. And I think UNC wins that ball game. Next up, we'll go ahead and go to the SEC for their game. And that game is LSU and USC. That is a ranked versus ranked. That is number 23 USC traveling to Baton Rouge to play the 13th ranked. I'm sorry, that's not in. That game is being played in Allegiant Stadium where the Raiders play. So they're in Vegas for that game. LSU is 4.5-point favorites. Caleb Williams is not in at SC anymore. I gotta go LSU. Go Tigers.
Okay. Much as I want to disagree with my brother and make this, I guess there's one game that we already disagreed with, so I guess I don't have to disagree with him. But I love Brian Kelly. I love the LSU Tigers. If I had to pick a team from down here where I live, if it's not a Florida State, it's LSU to root for. I'm always going to root. Yeah, LSU. I love the purple and gold. LSU covers. They will not win by much, but they win.
Now we're gonna pick the game of the week next. We're gonna pick the Georgia Clemson game. Let's take a look at what we have. The number 1 Georgia Bulldogs at home. They're in Atlanta. They're in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. Got Clemson, number 14, against number 1 Georgia. Georgia's coming in as close to a 14.2 score favorites. Yeah.
Want me to go?
Good.
I love how young Clemson is, and I love watching football for this reason because there's going to be upsets in week 1. Why not? I think your Georgia Bulldogs are going to fall. I think Clemson makes a statement, and I see Clemson winning by 10 points.
Okay.
Down the track. It's the mean machine in the red and black. Nothing finer in the land than a drunk, obnoxious Georgia band. Go dogs! Go dogs! Go dogs! They blocking everybody around here.
That's my pick. Georgia.
Yeah,
All day long. You took Clemson. I took Georgia.
it's a bad game, man. I hope you don't get your hopes up.
Settling in to tonight's game between CMU and Central Connecticut State University. CMU is 32.5-point favorite. I mean, so
It's the mean machine in the red and black.
Cut that shit off.
fire up chips. I mean, I'm obviously going to take CMU to win that ball game tonight. We'll be in the house. Game time is 6:02 on ESPN Plus. You can check it out. Or no, not 6:02, 7:02. 6:02 your time.
What channel is that on?
ESPN Plus. So if you have Hulu,
Yeah.
you should
Why?
be able.
Yeah.
It's going to be a runaway. CMU wins by 21. And if they don't,
What are you gonna do, Matt?
I don't know.
Don't be talking shit unless you're gonna finish it.
No, what I'm saying is, like, if they don't win by 30, by at least 3 scores, something seriously wrong. Something happened. That's what.
Yeah,
but
I'm a CMU chip loss. Yeah. Every time I can share on the CMU chips, I'll do it.
And the last game of the week that we're picking is Michigan at home against Fresno State. This is opening up a different kind of season for us. Holy fuck is right. So, I mean, I'm just gonna play this for you. Michigan cruises to an easy win. They set the tone with this win. It's at 6 o'clock Saturday night on NBC. Tune in, watch a real football game, watch a real football team handle their business. And that's my pick, Michigan running away from Fresno State.
I see you're going to get a Shannon Moore. You're going to see Shannon Moore football. I mean, we've seen it most of last year. I 100% believe Michigan will win this game. It'll be by several touchdowns. My only fear is due to what I witnessed my first football game as a live at the University of Michigan, and that was that damn Appalachian State team. Again, this is why you love football, right? I do not think Fresno State can repeat that. But we can't, I guess I'm not as powerful a Michigan fan as Matt is, even because I say that. But I do think Michigan will win. But as a Michigan fan, you keep that. Come on, Matt. You cannot say you don't keep that in the back of your head. That happened, right? It did. And
now,
could it happen again? Yeah, it could.
I'm going to say this. Yes, it does. It bothered me when it happened. But I don't. And this is not a slam on my brother. I don't let it live rent-free in my head.
I tell you what,
I firmly believe you look at that coaching staff that they had when that happened, because that was Rich Rod, right? Yeah. I think. Hold on. What year was that?
That was the one where they had Hart as their running back. And
who was that? Hold on.
He talks about rent-free in my head. Yes. I'm a state of Michigan fan. So I'm talking Detroit Tigers. I'm talking about the Lions. I'm talking about the Pistons. I'm talking about the Wolverine basketball team. And if there's ideas that live rent-free in my head when it comes to sport.
Although that was a Lloyd Carr team.
Okay, so if there's eras that live in rent-free in my head, it's the timeout by Chris Webber. It's the debacle of the Appalachian State. It's the pass intercepted by Bird. Matt knows all these.
The one that for the longest time I could not get over. There's actually two. There's two that I couldn't get over for the longest time, and there's one currently. There is still one that lingers in the back of my head. And we'll get to that in a second. Number one, the two that used to live rent-free was the Colorado Hail Mary to beat us in our own house.
Yep.
That was embarrassing.
Yep.
And the TJ Duckett Michigan State game.
Yep.
Where they didn't start the clock.
Yep.
Now, the one that lives rent-free still, there is one. All I have to say is the punt.
Yep. That's what I'm saying.
Shit like that happens if you let Michigan State hang around. That's all I'm saying. And it's because they're interstate rivals. That team scares me. They call it the backyard brawl for a reason.
Absolutely. And if I can honestly say, Matt, isn't this why? So isn't this why you would encourage everybody to be a college football fan? Because shit like this happens. Pick your team. I don't give a shit if you're Alabama, Georgia. They're going to lose this weekend, by the way, to Clemson. I don't care what team you pick. You got these rent-free stuff in your back of your head. You know what I'm saying? That happens. And that's why college football, college basketball is so amazing. College hockey, so amazing.
And, okay, that's why, be completely honest with you, I would much rather watch football on a Saturday afternoon than a Sunday afternoon.
100%.
It's because of the pageantry. It's because these kids are playing, well, they're playing for money now because of NIL, but they're playing for a shot at a national championship. They're playing for a shot at playing on Sunday. They're kids, and they're having fun. And it's the last time you see a true football game where these kids are having fun doing what they love to do.
Would you be bold enough to say that these kids and fans put more stock in a NCAA national championship than a NFL championship? There's more heart going into that game.
I think so. I think And well, it also depends on the situation too, because if you have a guy who's been in the NFL for like 13 years, he's going to let it all hang out on that in that Super Bowl.
That's true. That's true.
But I think it's more special, and it's such a more of a difficult thing to, because I'm around these guys in the CMU. By no means am I picking them to win a national championship. By no means. It'd be cool as hell if they did, but by no means am I saying that they're a national championship caliber team. What I'm saying is that I firmly believe that this group of kids, because I see them interact with each other. I see them throughout the day. Very respectable kids, very polite and respectful. Yes, sir, or good morning, sir. How are you doing today, sir? And that's all directed at me. I'm just a custodian in their thing, and they're referring to me as sir and shaking my hand. Coach Mack has that team dialed in. I love it. But what I'm saying is they're a family. They come together and they act like brothers. They are just, do they fight a little bit? Because brothers fight. They do. It's just, it's a brotherhood. When you play college football, because you suffer through 2-a-days in the 95-degree heat. You push through it, and you work hard to obtain that goal. Football is one thing that it's one sport that you have 11 guys on there. They all have their own job to do, and it's not just one guy going out there and winning a football game for you. Because the 5 linemen have to block. The quarterback has to deliver the good throw or deliver a good handoff. The running back, if he has the ball, has to cut to the right hole and make the right cuts and get upfield. The receiver has to run the right routes and catch the ball. Right. And then on the opposite side of the field, you have the defensive tackles and the defensive ends need to do their job. Yep. It's not just one person winning a football game. Basketball is different. You could have a guy going off for 80 points and they win by 2. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, football is a unit. And that's what it comes down to. Yep. It's a unit. And Michigan was the best unit in all of football last year, period.
But I go back to the pick. I picked Michigan, of course.
Yeah, we are. I think we both. Sorry about my tangent, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very passionate about college football. So we're heading into the last 5 minutes of this of the program. Again, I just want to give a shout out to everyone who we had up to 8 people in here, which is really cool to see. Thank you, whoever is still watching. I see that we have one eye on. Thank you for everyone who continues to tune in and see this face ramble about football for an hour. This is, like I said before, like I said last week, I am a football fan that just happens to enjoy wrestling. And
I appreciate my brother inviting me. You know, he Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast runs both afternoon shows and evening shows. It's an honor to be part of Matt's 2 shows. The Friday football show, of course, is a fun show. Matt has a plethora of knowledge of football. I just have my opinions, right? I talked to Matt about this last night. It's interesting. I surround myself with guys like Matt and Cody's and other parts of the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast shows. You know, I have opinions. Matt has knowledge. I told him this last night. I wish I had the knowledge that he has of football and wrestling combined. I do have some, but I just have a lot of opinions. So I thank my brother for inviting me on his shows. Friday football, and then I think, isn't there a rescheduling to Beyond the Mats on Wednesdays now? Correct?
Yeah, actually, you know, it's kind of funny. I was in the process of changing the layout because it said Wrestle Talk Wednesday underneath. So I guess we can just keep it that, and we can just refurbish it and be all right.
There you go. So, but no, I appreciate being on the shows with Matt in the afternoons. Again, Huge Pop Wrestling podcast birthed because my brother and I talk on the phone like once every other day, or it used to be once every day, twice every day sometimes, maybe sometimes 3 days times a day. I don't know. But we decide if we're going to talk on the phone, why not talk in front of everybody? So thank you, Matt, for having me on your shows. I appreciate it.
Thank you for, it's been, 2 years now, or this 3 years? COVID, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It started back in COVID.
It's going on 3 years. I think we're going into I think we started our third year.
Or maybe this is our fourth year.
I have no idea. But it's been fun. I mean,
it's been a ride. Just for future references, we do have other things going on for this show. It's not just going to be us giving our picks and that. I'm working gradually towards getting some players from some former football players from the NFL, some former football players from CMU potentially coming in. Haven't lined anything up concrete yet, but we might get a couple coaches, former and current CMU coaches to come on the show. Again, it's just a work in progress. It's going to be tough because they are in season now. So it might be one of those things after the season's over with, after the bowl game has been played, bringing on some of those guys, and potentially doing something with a friend of mine that I met through the Detroit Lions Legends Camp. Mr. Loomis Brown has agreed to come on the show when it's time appropriate, I guess, when the schedule allows. So we do have other things outside of just me talking like I know what I'm talking about. So stay tuned. I know my brother has this coming Tuesday. If you're a wrestling fan and you liked watching the Attitude Era stuff, Henry Godwin is on the show Tuesday. That's pretty darn cool, if you ask me. I would love to be there.
Yeah. Later on in the month, I have Alex Portier, which is Alex Plug Portier, back from WWF, I think. WWF. Still working on Samu to come on in September. So there's a lot of things coming on Tuesday night. If you love to hear people share their opinions on wrestling, Raw and SmackDown, come on there. Check us out. Keep an eye out. If the only way to follow us and the only way to keep your connected to us is check us up on our Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast Facebook page, and catch us on our YouTube page, which is at Huge Pop Wrestling.
I think that's pretty much all I got.
All I got.
Again, thank you all, everyone who will watch this later. We appreciate you tuning into whether it be our replay on the Twitch, we replay on Facebook, the replay on YouTube. Thank you for taking the last hour and hanging out with us.
Absolutely. Thanks.
It's amazing. And we will see you next time.